What up? It's your boy, the Incredible Man. And yes, I'm back at it again. And this is Black Clover, episode 100. We reached 100 in Black Clover, and that is absolutely fantastic. And I love the fact that episode 100 was one of the most epic fights in the whole series, man. That is absolutely fantastic, and I love that point and fact because Black Clover, you guys done it again, man. Every time I give you guys credit for something, you guys sometimes you surprise me and do it again because the animation in this episode looks so good. This was fantastic, man. Now, the only problem I had with the entire episode is that it ended. That's my problem. I wanted so much more because it was so good. And I love the fight between Licht and Asta and Yuno, man. It was so epic, man. And it was straight out the manga pages. Oh, it was too fantastic, man. And as I know you guys don't know, but as a like if you're not a manga reader, but as a manga reader, man, this was hype. This was absolutely fantastic seeing it animated, and they done it justice. Raya's face, no, not Mimosa's face, Zora's face, everybody's face when they showed a close up and zoomed in. Tell me that wasn't clean and super crisp. That was absolutely fantastic. Asta's face, Yuno's face, Klaus, even the other guy from the Golden Duck. I can't think of his name. But anyway, everybody looked so fantastic, and I can definitely tell the budget went into this episode, man. Episode 100, they went all out for episode 100, man. You could tell they did. Everything was absolutely fantastic. Okay, let's talk about the episode, man, because if not, I'm just going to keep going and going and going. Okay, yeah. We picked up right after last week's episode, and it was super fantastic, man. So we end up down in the part where Mimosa was, and Klaus and the other guy are trying to kill her, but Asta's been thrown down there as well. And then we see Yuno and everyone, and they're pretty much taken over by the elves. But Asta keeps telling them, hey, that's fine. You guys is cool. Come to your senses. And then he shouts out, straight out the manga, that he telling them everything, and I'm going to be the Wizard King. And that snaps Yuno back into his senses, and we get all these flashbacks of them when Asta got his grimoire, when they were kids, when Asta came to help Yuno when his necklace was stolen. So many other flashbacks that we got from like the very beginning of the series, and Yuno snaps back into his senses, and in that moment, it was so epic, man, because Klaus and the other guy were fighting Asta, and Asta was deterring everything and blocking most of the stuff. But in that moment when they launched the big attack, he didn't have to do anything. Yuno stepped up and saved the man. Yuno is back. He is no longer kind of frizzled in anything. He knows who he is, and he has the power of an elf. That is absolutely fantastic, and I love that, man. It's straight out the manga. After that happened, so then we have Raya kind of questioning what's going on. Even Klaus was wondering what's going on because you're possessed as well, so you should be on our side. How are you capable of fighting us and everything? Because Yuno has his senses. He's a strong-willed character, and that is absolutely fantastic. So then we see... Oh, we pan outside, and we see Zora taking and sitting down Meirona, sitting her down outside and kind of panning and thinking about Asta, with Asta saying, just take her outside, I'll be safe, I'll return shortly. So then we jump back into the inside, and this is when all the epicness happens, because at that moment the whole fight starts, because at that moment Klaus and the other guy, I know his name, I just keep forgetting it, they launch a simultaneous attack, combined attack at Asta and Yuno. And in that moment, Yuno launches and dons his whole form where he combines with the wind spirit. I know her name too. Anyway, where he combines with the wind spirit, and Asta dons his half black form. This is what I'm talking about, man. There's so much epicness happening in Black Clover, and I know you guys, a lot of people aren't manga readers, but I mean, and that may not be your thing, and I'm not going to tell you to go read it, but I'm telling you, man, if you were to read it and then watch this be animated, you'll be like, okay, I see what you guys were talking about now. I know why everybody wanted me to read it, because it's absolutely fantastic, and if you read this and then seen it animated, your mind would be just psh, psh, because it was just that good, man. So then they donned their forms, and Klaus and the other guy launched their attack, and you know, it asked to shut it down, man. And when they went in there, they split everything, they cut everything, and it was so good. And the movements and the score that was playing throughout the whole episode, through all of the fight scenes, were absolutely fantastic. And they knocked Klaus and the other dude out, like they knocked them out. But then Lick wakes up, like he's not really fully awakened yet, but he's semi-awakened enough to where he can use his powers and fight Asta and Yuno. So then that happens, and Lick grabs another sword, that because now I can talk about the fact that the grimoire Asta has is Lick's old grimoire, and all of the swords that Asta is using are Lick's old weapons. But there was another sword that Lick had that wasn't in the grimoire, and that's the one he used against Asta and Yuno. But at the same time, he took the other sword from Asta, the one that could absorb magic, and he was fighting both Asta and Yuno. But now, before we get to that point, we have to talk about the fact of that when Lick saved Klaus and the other guy and laid them down, in that moment, Asta and Yuno kind of recognized and felt like, well, okay, this dude is on a completely different level than everybody else we fought so far. So they recognized that, and they were trying to be prepared and see everything. But it done them nothing, man. It done them no good, because Lick, in that moment, blew right past Yuno and went straight to Asta, stole the sword out of his hand, and that's it's so good. So then the fight officially starts, because we have Lick going straight ham on Asta and Yuno. He was just demolishing them. But then Asta and Yuno stepped up to the plate, and they started to launch some attacks on Lick. But it really wasn't doing nothing, man. Lick was just straight mollywopping them. So then we get to the point to where Lick would just straight bonkers on my boy Asta, and he pretty much set Asta to the side. I mean, because he went ham on Asta and knocked Asta down in some water, in like a lake or pond in the bottom of the base, and Asta was out for a good 2 minutes. So he was just like, he wasn't knocked out, but he was kind of like semi-conscious a little bit, because he was at the bottom of that lake just floating for like a whole 2 minutes. So then Yuno had to step up to the plate and fight Lick by himself, and Yuno was putting in work, but like it was semi-doing pretty good, because Lick also had the magic Demon Dweller sword, which absorbed the magic that every time Yuno would throw at him, that's what the magic done. It absorbed the magic, and it done nothing. And every time Lick would release the magic back at Yuno. But then Yuno pulled something out of his hat, which was Mana Zone. Yes, and Raya knew exactly what it was, because he dealt with Melirona when she used Mana Zone, and he knows that it had Mana Zone has the power, and Yuno was starting to get used to Lick's attacks, but he thought he had Lick kind of caught off guard, because he launched the attack straight from behind. But then Lick used the sword that absorbs magic again, and took the whole brunt of that Mana Zone move and absorbed it. And then that's when my boy Asta came back. Raya was like, oh, well, okay. Lick saw it and thought it was done. Asta shot from the ground, came straight where Lick was, and him and Yuno was going at it, man. And then in that moment, it was a great scene, and it was great. And there were so many scenes in this episode that I was like, dude, look at that. Can nobody look at the colors from Yuno? That was just absolutely fantastic. That's the part that I loved and wanted to see so much after reading the manga, was seeing him in his full form and seeing it colored and animated, which was so fantastic, man. And they launched their attack simultaneously at Lick, but Lick released the full force of the Mana Zone attack back at Asta and Yuno. And dude, that whole scene, when he launched it at them, the attack was like this wide, and then it shot down, it went through the base, and it attacked all of the little wooded forest area right there, and created like lava all around the ground. And We had to have Zora protect Melirona and Nozzle protect the other guy, the mushroom guy, because the attack was so widespread. It almost attacked them as well. It was too good. Okay, and then that's pretty much how the episode ended, because like he pretty much he done my boy Asta and Yuno wrong, man. He done him wrong, but at the same time, I'm a manga reader, so I know what's coming. But before I finish this video, man, I forgot to mention we have Finral finally being fully awake, and Yami telling him exactly what's going on, and him thinking, well, is that what happened to my brother when he attacked me? Was he taken over by one of the elves? So I like the fact that now we finally have Finral back. It's so happy to see Finral, and he knows exactly what's going on, and that he's a part of the fight now, and that we got to see Magna and Victoria, because we saw everyone else like just before this whole arc started at the Black Bull's base, and we saw everyone else at the raid. So we hadn't seen Vanessa and Magna at all since then. So it was nice for them to show us them again. Like I said, man, episode 100 gets a 100, man. I don't know if anybody else feels like this, but it was absolutely fantastic. I enjoyed every single moment. The animation was fantastic. The score that was playing was there. The colors was there. And if you're a manga reader, you enjoyed everything because you knew what was going to happen, but seeing it animated made it so much more real and made it so much more visually accepting, because it was fantastic. The colors, the animation, and everything. And this is your boy, The Incredible, man. Don't forget to smash that like button so you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them. And subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. And remember that anime matters, anime is greatness, and anime is life, man. Peace out.